Hello and welcome to This Week in Nigeria, where we look at what our leaders are doing so you do not have to. This week, an actor fights his old boss, a commission loses track of billions of naira, and we ask whether young people in politics are actually different or just faster learners. Let us begin. Segment 1: The Master and the Actor. Peter Obi is a former governor and presidential candidate. Kenneth Okonkwo is a famous Nollywood actor who became a politician and a lawyer. For a while, they were best friends in politics. When both men were in the Labour Party, Kenneth served as Peter Obi's spokesperson. He went on television and said wonderful things about Peter. Peter would smile, everybody was happy. That was then. After the 2023 elections, the relationship began to fall apart. Kenneth started criticizing Peter's decisions more and more. He even called Peter another political common for abandoning a coalition that had previously been. This week, things got very serious. Kenneth went on television and accused Peter of collecting 10 million naira in bribes from people who wanted to run for the House of Representatives. He said he had evidence. He said he had receipts. Peter Obi was not pleased. Peter Obi's lawyers sent a letter accusing Kenneth of making false, malicious, and defamatory claims and demanding 5 billion naira in damages. 5 billion naira for words on television. Kenneth's response? He laughed. He said he had not even read the other letter yet. Now, here is what makes this interesting. Kenneth Okonkwo is an actor. Actors are very good at following a script. As long as someone they trust is directing them. When Peter Obi was his director, Kenneth read the lines perfectly. But now Kenneth has a new party and a new script. And the old director does not like what is being said without him. Which brings us to a very, very old question. About 500 years ago, an Italian man named Machiavelli asked, "Is it better for a leader to be loved or to be feared?" If Peter Obi had been feared, Kenneth would not be talking. If Peter Obi had truly been loved, Kenneth would not want to. He was neither feared enough to be silenced, nor loved enough to stay loyal. We leave that question open. Nigeria will answer it eventually. I'll give you a second with that. Segment 2. The 16 billion naira room. The Southeast Development Commission, the SEDC, was created to develop the southeast of Nigeria. Roads, bridges, power. The basic things that make life work in a region that has waited a very, very long time. This year, they received 16.6 billion naira from the federal budget. The Nigerian Senate called them in this week and asked a simple question: where did the money go? Senators questioned 153 million naira reportedly spent to rent a single one-room Liaison office in Abuja, and 2.5 billion naira listed as simply as implied expenditure. Implied expenditure. That's a very political way of saying we spent it, but we would rather not say on what. The Central Bank of Nigeria confirmed that only 13 billion naira remained, meaning 3.6 billion naira had already been spent, and no one could properly explain it. The Senate committee chairman called the financial report completely unacceptable. 153 million naira for one room in Abuja. You could build a school with that. You could fix a road with that. But apparently, the most important thing to do with the money meant for Southeast was to rent one single room in the capital. The CED's managing team director is Mark Okoyo, a relatively young man by Nigerian political standards. Which brings us to our third and final story. I'll give you another moment with that. Segment 3. Does age change anything? Nigeria has spent decades watching old politicians mismanage public funds. So when younger faces began entering politics, many people felt hopeful. Maybe, they said, the young ones will be different. Maybe they will not yet were not yet corrupted. Maybe they still cared. Let us examine the evidence. Mark Okoyo, the man running the SEDC, now sits before the Senate unable to explain where billions of naira went, including 153 million naira for one room. Then there is Ya Bello, the former governor of Kogi State, sometimes called the White Lion of Kogi. He came to power presenting himself as a fresh, young, modern leader. While serving as governor for 8 years, the EFCC now accuses him of dishonestly diverting more than 110 billion naira from the Kogi State government's treasury. The EFCC chairman alleged that Bello withdrew $720,000 from state funds to prepay his child's school fees abroad. A court witness described how 1,096,000,000 naira disappeared from the Kogi State Government House account in just 3 days. 3 days. He ran. The EFCC chased him. He was eventually arrested at the EFCC's own headquarters in the car park. Young, modern, different. So here's the question this week in Nigeria would like to leave you with today. Does it matter if a leader is young or old? Does it matter if they are Igbo, Hausa, or Yoruba? Does it matter if they went to a good school or speak English with a fine accent? Or does it matter what system trained them and whether they've decided to change it or simply get their own share of it? Because here is one thing about the system. If you enter it and you do not change it, it changes you. And if it changes you, then the only thing that is new is your face. Corruption and mismanagement have no tribe. They have no religion. And as this week has shown us, they have no age. That is This Week in Nigeria. 3 stories, 3 open questions. No easy answers. We will be back next week. Because unfortunately, there will always be a next week. See you then.